everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today's video, I wanted to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is having pets out on the road with you. I know I've talked a little bit about it in some other videos, but today's video I want to be just about pets on the road and kind of go over a few things about it. Maybe it'll help answer some questions if you had questions about having pets with you out on the road. So having pets out on the road with you is one of the things that I feel, and I know Jason feels as well, is one of the biggest perks about this job. What other job can you have your pets with you 24/7? I've worked 9-to-5 jobs for 20 plus years before we started doing this, and there was not a one job that I could have ever brought a pet to work with me. Now, I know there's jobs out there that you can, but there's not very many. I'm a diehard animal lover. Jason's an animal lover too, and that's just one of the benefits and perks to being out on the road in expediting or even in trucking. We have seen all kinds of different pets that people bring out with them on the road. You know, it's not just limited to dogs. Of course, we have 2 small chihuahuas that we have out on the road with us. We've seen cats, we've seen birds, I've seen a monkey, I've seen guinea pigs, I've seen snakes, iguanas. I think I've seen an iguana before. So there is no limit to the pets you could bring out on the road with you. If you're thinking about bringing a pet out, or you're wanting to get into expediting and you want to bring a pet out on the road, let's talk about a few important things that you need to know. The first thing you're going to need to find out, you're going to want to find out if the carrier that you're going to be leased to or driving for will allow pets on the vehicle. There are some carriers that may not allow you to have a pet on your vehicle. So you want to find that out. That's very important. Another thing you'll want to find out, if you do not own your own vehicle and you're going to be driving for an owner, that is something you're going to have to find out if the owner will allow you to have that particular pet on their vehicle with you. Some owners may not allow that, so that's something you're going to want to find out as well. One thing also that you'll need to know about having pets in your vehicle doing this job, even though the carrier allows you to have the pets on your vehicle and the owner allows you to have the pets on your vehicle, there are some customers and businesses that just simply do not allow pets on their facility. For example, there are some nuclear power plants that do not allow them. There are some pharmaceutical companies that just do not allow you to have pets on their facility. That's something to keep in mind. When you get a job or a load offer from your carrier, they should put that in the notes when they send a load offer to you that pets are not allowed on the facility. In a perfect expedite world, they would have notes, or you could tell them, hey, I have pets, so they could notate that on your truck or in the computer so that they possibly wouldn't even send you those load offers, so you wouldn't have to deal with that. But, you know, as we know, not everything is perfect, so you may get these load offers. Now, I will tell you, in the little over 3 years we've been doing this, we've only had that happen a handful of times where there's been load offers that they've sent over that it says no pets allowed. We've also had happen where there were no notes about no pets allowed, and we've gotten to a customer's and they've informed us that they don't allow pets. So that is a possibility as well. If we ever get a load offer that says there's no pets allowed, the first thing we do is we call dispatch and ask them about it, because sometimes it may say that, but sometimes it's not necessarily that pets are just totally not allowed. It could be that They're just saying, you know, you're not allowed to have your pets outside your vehicle on their premises. To me, that's common sense. I don't care if it's a facility that says that or not. If we're doing a pickup or delivery, we're not gonna pull our dogs out when we're there at that location. Now, there are some exceptions to that, I will say. In this business, there are some times when you do have to sit and wait to get picked up or unloaded, and that could be several hours sometimes. You know, our dogs are pretty well behaved, so they can hold it. You know, we let them out plenty of times during the day. It's not like it's a dire emergency, but I will say there could be times, you know, our dogs let us know when they have to go, and when they let us know they have to go, they have to go. So if it's an issue and we're sitting at a customer's facility, we will ask before we just let them out willy-nilly on the property. We would ask before we did that and make sure that it is okay. Now, we've never had anybody tell us, oh no, you can't do that, and it's not like we've done it that I probably in 3.5 years we've only had to do that maybe 2 times. So it's not a big issue. For those places that you get there and for some reason they say you cannot have your pets here, we have had that happen once before, and I know some other people have, where if you're a team, I don't know how this would work if you're a solo, but with a team, one of you will have to stay outside the property with your animals while the other goes in to either pick up or drop off. So that has happened before to people. Like I said, it has happened to us once before. I had to stay outside the facility with the dogs while Jason went in and did the pickup. So do we like doing that? No. But you know, that is an option if you don't mind doing that. But again, that is something, if the load offer comes over with that stipulation, you would need to call and find out what the stipulations are. And you know, dispatch has told us that before too. Well, one of you can stay outside the property while the other goes in. So again, you know, that's a call that you'll have to make if that's something that you want to do. Another thing that I want to talk about, and I've kind of talked about this, I know, in at least one of our other videos before when I was talking about paperwork and tax write-offs. But if you have a dog in your vehicle, you can write the expenses off that you pay for that dog. For instance, dog food, vet bills for shots, leashes, those kind of things you can treat, you can write off if you have a dog on your vehicle with you. Reason being is it's considered a guard dog. That's your security system. Now, some of you may question that and be like, well, look, you know, your dogs are little bitty, or my dog's little bitty. It's 5 pounds or it's 10 pounds. You know, it's not a 100-pound Rottweiler or anything like that. But let me tell you, Abby, our bigger of the 2 Chihuahuas we have, you know, she's probably all of 8 pounds. But if there is anyone that comes near our truck or is even around our truck, she is going to bark and let us know. So yes, she is a security dog for our truck. You are allowed to write those things off for your dog. Now, if you have a cat or some other kind of animal other than a dog, I don't know that you would necessarily be able to write those things off for that animal, because for one, I'm not a tax professional. I didn't even know until we started, and one of the tax people came in when we were doing orientation and told us this. I had no clue about it. And I'm sure there's a lot of tax professionals that don't know about it either. But you can write it off. Some of the things that you need to make sure you have with you if you are going to have a animal or pet out on the road with you. You want to make sure you have their shot records with you, especially if you go into Canada. Now, we've never had an issue where anybody has asked for the shot records, but you know, that is a possibility, especially, I don't know so much here in the States, unless, you know, you're out somewhere with your dog and say your dog happens to bite somebody or another dog or something like that. You know, that's important for you to have to show proof that your dog has been vaccinated and is up to date with their vaccinations. If you are going in and out of Canada, that is one thing that they can ask you for at the border. And when we have done Canada runs in the past, we were never asked, but it is a possibility. So that's important to have your dog's shot records with you. You would also want to have any necessities for them. Of course, you know, food, dog bowls, any toys to keep them occupied, a dog bed, you know, those are all pretty basic things. Leashes, you want to make sure you have leash for your dog. Now, I will say, you know, Abby and Tyson, we rarely ever put them on leashes. They are pretty well trained. When we're out with them, they stay pretty close. I'm not saying they don't wander off, but they don't wander far, and you know, we keep an eye on them. But there are some places that they require you to have your pet on a leash, so you want to make sure that you do have that with you on the vehicle. Another thing to have on the truck with you for your pet is if your pet takes any type of medications or is on any kind of prescription foods. Like Abby has stomach problems, so she's on a prescription food. So have their medications with you and have the prescriptions with you. You want to try to have, of course, enough with you while you're out, but if for some reason you run out of that medication, it's good to have the prescription so that if you're out on the road, you're able to stop at a vet and get that prescription filled for your animal. That's what I do with Abby, even though she's on a prescription science diet food. Now, I can get that. A lot of PetSmarts carry that have the vet there at the PetSmart, and actually I have a card through PetSmart, and it's kind of a prescription card for her. So when I buy that food, if I have to buy it, I always try to buy enough while we're home to bring out with us so I don't have to do that. But if for some reason I had to stop and get it at the PetSmart, I can do that because I have that prescription card with me. Otherwise, they wouldn't sell it to me if I just walked in off the street and tried to buy that specialty food. So any medications, and have the prescriptions with you for them. One thing I wanted to talk about too is if you have larger dogs, you know, in these trucks, obviously Abby and Tyson can't jump in and out of the truck because they're so small. A bigger dog may be able to do that, but you want to be careful because these trucks are pretty high off the ground. So, and even a big dog could possibly hurt themselves if they're jumping in and out of the truck. Now, they may not even be able to do that. And you know, if you have a 100-pound dog, lifting them in and out of a truck can be difficult. So they do make some pet ramps that you can get. We've seen them online, and I'll insert a picture here. But that's a possibility. You could get you some of those pet ramps, and then your dog could essentially walk in and out of the truck. So if you're thinking about, oh gosh, my dog's too big, I can't lift them or take them in and out of the truck, you know, that's a possibility. One other thing I wanted to talk about, when you do bring pets out on the road with you, if they've never traveled before, they may have some anxiety when you bring them out on the road in a truck, cargo van, what have you. Since Tyson and Abby were little, we've always taken them in our personal vehicle on road trips with us, so they were pretty accustomed to being in a vehicle, being, you know, out of the home and in vehicles. So they adapted really well to being on the truck. Now, you know, if your animals aren't used to that, that may be an issue. So keep that in mind. If it is, you know, you may talk to your vet to see if there's some options, maybe some anxiety medications or some more natural things you could do to help your pet. One other issue that we have come across with being out on the road with the dogs is, especially in the spring and summer months when you're letting them out, and especially some of these rest areas and places are very wooded, you want to be aware of ticks. We've never had a big problem with it, but there has been a few times where we have found a couple ticks on the dogs. So you want to really be aware of that. You know, just kind of give your dog a look over every now and then. Make sure they're not bringing ticks into the truck. We've seen them on the dog where we had to get them off. I think 2 times we've had to do that. And there has been a couple times where there's actually been a tick like crawling on our leg. So you want to be aware of that with your animals. Fleas also could be an issue. We've never had a big issue with fleas. So just something to be aware of and to keep an eye out for. So that's all I had for this video. Again, I wanted to talk a little bit about pets, because I know a lot of us have pets, and you know, a lot of people may wonder about that, how that works when you have pets out on the road with you, or hopefully that answered some questions if you had any. If you have any other specific questions, you can always email us, contact us on Facebook, leave a comment down below with your question, and we'll be happy to answer those to the best. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our videos. We really appreciate each and every one of you, whether you've been with us from the start of doing these videos, or even if you're new to watching our videos. It's because of y'all that we do these videos and continue to do them. So thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.